Howdy, everyone. Welcome to the No Bull Cap Podcast, hosted by me, Fred Nort, and presented by CJS Bucking Bulls. This is episode number 3. Today's episode, we're going to go into a little about some of the cap stuff out there about bull riding. Just a few points I'm going to touch on, things that I see out there that people are basically kind of putting out as misnomers, hence cap, lying, and everything else. And we're going to go with that a little bit, and then we're going to go into other stuff like that. I'm not going to go a whole lot into the cap because there's a whole load of stuff out there. I'm just going to go into some of the major points that people can see out there, and we'll see in bull riding, everything else. The first thing is that the bulls are mistreated. That is so cap. It's beyond reason. People think they're drugged to make them aggressive. They're not drugged to be aggressive. They're not out there hurting the bulls. They're not out there mistreating the bulls. They're not trying to get the bulls to be mean and stuff like that. Some of these bulls are treated better than humans are. They get the best food, the best care. They get to graze in open fields when they're not working. They go to work for one or two rounds each weekend, usually 2 weekends a month, and they work for 8 seconds. Then they go back to hanging out with all their buddies in the back and everything else at the events, or the buddies at the local ranch where they are, everything else. But they are not mistreated at all. Matter of fact, every PRCA event, every PBR event out there has a vet at the thing, and they fully check their bulls and everything else, and they check them out before they go, and the vet can basically sign off and say whether they can play and how to work that weekend. And they also check the blood work, make sure they're not drugged. So they are regulating these bulls, highly regulating these bulls. So that's the first thing that's capped. The bulls are not mistreated. Next thing is the flank strap is tied around the bull's testicles. That is cap. That is way capped again too. It is nowhere near their testicles. It is tied around the midpoint of the stomach. Basically, it's between the front legs and the flank, around the mid area. Now, the flank is where you basically get your flank steak from. So they're tied around the mid area, stuff like that, and the rope is not tied hard at all. But think about this, the guys out there. How hard do you want to bucket or move around? You got something tied around you too tight, or tied around your man parts. So you're not going to want to move at all. But I'm going to show you what the rope is now because I have one right here. This is actually the flank strap they put on bulls. Yes, there's a metal ring right here. And if you're on YouTube, you can see this. Obviously, if you're on the other podcasting thing, you just have to hear about it. There's a metal ring on here. The metal ring is designed to have the strap go through it and tie very loosely a little knot that they can pull out, and yanks it out and drops the strap off. But you can see it's a really soft rope and stuff like that. And you can see it falling apart over here. And if you look at this, here's the end of it. The end of the rope. It's basically twine. There's a whole bunch of twine. It's really soft. Not going to hurt you. You can rub against your skin. Not going to do nothing to your skin at all. And there's no metal in this at all except for the one piece at the end. But that's basically what a bull rope is. Some have neoprene in them. Some have another texture in them. But basically the outside is basically cotton. It's a cotton rope that they put around you. And then basically it's not tight at all. It's just enough to make the bull get a little discomfort so it wants to buck it off. So it's way to buck. And that's how it basically bucks. So that's another thing. Again, it's cap that the flank strap's tied around the bull's testicles. Another thing is cap that bulls are not naturally aggressive towards humans. They are not. People say, oh, bulls are just aggressive towards humans. They are not. That's total cap. Bulls are bred to buck. Yes. They're bred to work for 8 seconds. They're bred to buck when they feel that strap go on the person I showed you. They're bred to buck when a person gets on their back. They're bred to do a job, but they're not bred to hurt people. Most of the bulls out there, almost 99% of the bulls, you'll see them in PBR events, stuff like the PRC events. When they get done bucking, that buzzer blows, and the bridle comes off. They run back to the pen, like I said before. They want to go hang out with their friends and stuff like that. But they're not naturally aggressive. There's videos out there of people I know personally and their little daughters, by 8, 9, 10 old, scratching the bulls. A lot of bulls like being scratched like animals. They're animals. They're pets. There's pets that they're just pets that are used for business. It's no different than basically the Westminster Dog Show. The dogs are bred to look like yuppie puppies walking around. The bulls are just bred to do their job for 8 seconds, not try to knock a person off. So that is total cap that they're bred and they're naturally aggressive towards people. They're not. Last thing I want to talk about is the spurs on the Cowboys' boots. People think the spurs hurt the bull. They think the spurs cause scars, cause bleeding. They use them as weapons. They use them to punish the bull. That is all cap. That does not happen. The spurs are actually filed down so round that you can take them, run them across your arm, and it will not hurt you, will not cut you. And think about this: your skin on your arm is actually thinner than the bull's skin. Think about your leather belts, all your leather gear out there. That's cow. That's bull. That's some bulls. That's some cows. That's cattle. Think how tough that is. That's what the spur runs against. They're dull the edges though, so it does not hurt them. This way you can glide across them rather than stick them. Think about spurs like this. If you're a climber or you're rock climbing, stuff like that, you're gonna wear grippy shoes. Why are you wearing grippy shoes? To help you control yourself or help control the climb, stuff like that. That's what the spurs are. They help the rider control himself while on the bull. The grippy shoes don't hurt the mountain, just like the spurs don't hurt the bull. So, anyway, that's all. It's a couple things I want to go into. I know the big things are like people think the bulls are mistreated. They, talk about the flying strap. They talk about, the aggressive. They talk about the spurs they use and everything else. There's just a couple things I wanted to go into that with Cap and get that out of the way first thing. Now I want to go into a couple things that's going on. Recently, as in the July 20th and 21st weekend, the PBR had its inaugural PBR CSU Last Cowboy Standing. It was in Fort Collins, Colorado. What it was is 5 rounds of competition, and basically you had a whole bunch of riders in the beginning. If you didn't ride, you didn't move on. You had to keep riding to move on. It came down to the final round. They had 2 Cowboys that made it to the 5th round final round there. First one was Leonardo Castro. The other was Brady Fielder from Texas Rattlers, my team. They both got in the bulls that day. In the final round, it was basically winner take all. Leonardo Castro got on a bull. He got on a bull called Tulsa Time. Tulsa Time is my baby bull sire time. My second bull sire time's father. He got on that bull. He rode that bull. He rode that bull in the final round. He got an 88.25 out of it. So he had to wait for one more rider. Brady Fielder got on his bull. I don't remember the name of the bull though. But Brady Fielder only got 87.5. So basically, Leonardo Castro won the inaugural PBR Last Cowboy Standing in Fort Collins, Colorado on my bull's father, Tulsa Time. It was just awesome to see that because that's hopefully what my bull will be doing down in the future. Hoping Sire Time could be as successful as Tulsa Time is, and that'd be awesome because that's what we get involved. We get involved with this for. We get involved bull riding and owning stock contracting. I call it a mini haha stock contract. That means I only own 2. I own half interest, and then up in Colorado, so I don't have a ranch. So I say mini haha. A lot of you guys that know me from the 80s, I worked at the go-kart track. We used to call everything mini ha-has. So mini ha was something that was small, that was, kind of not irrelevant, but just kind of small. Like we're kind of a small contractor because I don't really own a lot of bulls. I just own half interest in them. So mini ha-ha stock contractor. So, but it's kind of cool to watch Tulsa Time be ridden for the championship of the PBR's last Cowboy Standing, sorry. Teams are in full effect right now. They're in full swing right now. The first event was in Oklahoma City a couple weekends ago. The end result of the event was Kansas City Outlaws went 3-0. The Texas Rattlers, my team, again, Texas team locally to me. I do know some of the Rattlers. I do know the coach and everything else, so it's pretty cool. They went 2-1 over the weekend, so they're tied with 4 of the teams for second place. It's only first round. They have, I think it's 11 events they go to. I think 10 or each. There's 10. Every team is 10 teams. Each team gets their own event at that place. And I think it's 2 neutral sites. Which next one is one of the neutral sites coming up is Duluth, Georgia, coming up this weekend, which is the last weekend in July. And then actually the second weekend in August, the PBR teams is in Florida, and I'll be in Florida for the week just prior to that for the Fraternal Order Police Convention. I'm still a member of my lodge up in New York. I'll be able to vote. I'm going to vote for the conference, everything else. But I'll be in Miami, and 45 minutes north of Miami is where the team's event starts on Friday, my last day of the event, Fraternal Order Police Convention Conference. I might actually see if I get off that weekend. I'll just stay up there and go see it. If I do, I'll definitely be doing some live stuff from there. I may even see if I can do my podcast from there. If we do a quick podcast, it'll be by my phone. Maybe we can do it up there instead. It'd be kind of neat to do on location one. So that'd be pretty cool. Trying to think what else going to basically. That's all I got for today. It's gonna be quick. I had a couple things I wanted to go over, stuff like that. I do want to talk about two sad things that happened this week. Two iconic people growing up had passed away. You know, a music legend, an iconic legend, Ozzy Osbourne. And the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan from WWE, just passed away today.
Heartbeat away.
They are both iconic people that I watched growing up in the 80s and 90s, stuff like that. I watched how the wrestling became big and how Ozzy Osbourne basically set the standard for craziness as a rocker, you know, stuff like that. But he was just a phenomenal rocker. Unfortunately, again, he passed away a couple of days ago, and then Hulk Hogan's passed away today. You know, so basically two people that I watched rise through the ranks, we'll say, rise up from being where they were, nothing, to being iconic. And they're both gone. You know, it's kind of sad. May Ozzy and may Hulk rest in peace. There are a lot of people out there that are may not like wrestling, may not like rock and roll, but you have to respect the fact of what they did for their industries. They did a lot for their industries. I think Hulk Hogan made the WWE what it is today. And Ozzy Osbourne made a lot of bands that they are today. I know that the music that I play intro and out of is done by Jeff Fabb. He's part of Black Label Society, which was started by Zakk Wylde. Zakk Wylde was Ozzy Osbourne's lead guitarist. Again, my condolences to everybody who knew Ozzy and all my friends and family members that knew Ozzy and stuff like that, and all the people that knew Hulk Hogan. May they both rest in peace. Now, I'd like to thank again people for helping me out with the show and everything else. I already, basically talked about Jeff Fabb already. Thank you for letting me use the music, Jeff. I do appreciate that. I want to thank Benjy for editing everything and Anthony for all my graphics. I do want to talk about a couple things real quick. The No Bull Cap t-shirts are out. They're are listed on my merchandise page. So if you like the t-shirt, you get the t-shirt and a sticker. And then, of course, that's the CJ's Buck and Bulls one. That's the CJ's Buck and Bulls hat. The hat above here, just so you know, is Barn Source. It's a person I really know and became friendly with. She's started the organization. Her name's Megan West. And she started Barn Source to help out animals, stuff like that. I'll leave a link down below for her thing. I mean, he basically used the money to help rescue animals. She did some things for Kerrville just recently. Sent a whole bunch of stuff down to Kerrville to help out animals down there. And a lot of horses, stuff like that. Basic horses mostly. You know, but she does livestock. But it's kind of cool to you buy stuff from her website, and all the money goes to that. So again, I'll leave some links down below so you can get to that. As I've been doing recently, I want to leave a quote. I used to be the executive life coach and stuff like that, so I want to leave a nice little quote for you guys to hear. And my quote today is this: the foundation for a balanced success are honesty, character, integrity, faith, love, and loyalty. In other words, the cowboy way of living, if you think about it. Hey, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I know it's a little shorter show today. Just, I wanted to get a couple things in there. So thank you. I really do appreciate your time. Again, thank you everybody out there who's helped me out with this. And please do me a favor, smash the like button, smash the follow buttons. Help me out. Let's follow the No Bull Cap podcast. Follow CJ's Buck and Bulls on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Again, No Bull Cap podcast. Thank you again for being here. I'll see you all soon.